Hello, we are pleased to have today with us at Travel Daily News former Minister of Tourism of the Hellenic Republic, Mr. Theoharis, who has served as chairman of the Regional Commission for Europe, among other activities, and has also currently candidate for the position of General Secretary of the UN Tourism Organization.
Thank you. The pleasure is mine. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Minister, for accepting to share with us some thoughts and with the international audience of Travel Daily News and for the future of world tourism. And we would like to thank you and have the opportunity to exchange some ideas with you.
You're welcome.
During your recent term of office, we remember that you faced the COVID pandemic and were very successful in meeting with Greece, making proposals for international tourism, and also Greece chairing the International Committee for the Code for the Protection of Tourists, which was unanimously passed. What do you see the challenges of world tourism in the future period, and how do you see the role of World Tourism Organization in it?
World tourism is, I believe, at a crossroads. On one hand, we have an increasing appetite for traveling. This is obvious in the developed world. And as a result, we have an increasing appetite for attracting tourists in the emerging markets. So in that sense, tourism goes from strength to strength, notwithstanding the problems that we might face from time to time, like COVID. COVID was a difficult period, but a period that had a beginning and an end. So tourism again restarted in earnest. And on the other hand, we have huge challenges in front of us, from the challenges of sustainability, which are known for a number of years and require a lot of funding and a lot of effort in order to make the necessary changes to implement the transition. But also more recent challenges like geopolitical challenges, wars, and the problems associated with wars, migration flows, etc., which make traveling in many parts of the world precarious, difficult, and in some cases even non-existent. So tourism has to navigate through these difficult waters of that we're currently going through. But I believe that, of course, tourism is affected by those challenges, but also is able to shape solutions to those challenges. Tourism is a force for peace. Tourism is a force for sustainability, for supporting local communities, for empowering people of disadvantage, etc. So basically, those challenges, as I said, affect tourism, but the circle closes. Tourism can help mitigate those challenges as well. So I think a more united effort is called for if we are to overcome all those issues.
Thank you for that. And this brings us into the question. You have chaired very successfully the European Commission for the Regional Commission of the Tourism Organization. How do you see the organization developing in the next few years in order to meet these challenges that you very well outlined?
Well, UN tourism has to change in order to adapt to the challenging times, to the changing times, and in order to be able to fulfill its mission, which is to actually bring those SDGs, those UN goals, sustainability goals, implemented on the ground in the field of tourism. So I see that this organization needs a lot of reform to make it more transparent, accountable, and at the same time to make it more efficient and able to implement solutions on the ground, not just on a theoretical level. That means we need to cooperate more with the member states, and we need to cooperate more with the academia. We need to cooperate more with the private sector to be able to shape programs and solutions and to create the correct ecosystems of corporations, practitioners, consultants, individuals working in the field of tourism, in order to be able to scale the solutions, to go beyond the pilot programs, to go beyond the small-scale solutions, but actually copy best practices. I see that in many cases this organization is led by its inertia, or it's led by its bureaucracy, if you like, and not by the member states. And I think more power and more say should go back to the member states in order to shape the direction and to create more value that is required by the member states themselves. So, for example, co-shaping strategic plans or commenting and providing suggestions on the strategic plans of the member states could be one type of service that this organization could give to its members.
This is very interesting approach. And let me come up to the changing situation of tourism, which you mentioned earlier. There are new trends, new habits of tourists, and new destinations that are trying to benefit from the tourism economy. How do you see these challenges and these new trends to be adapted, met, faced, the new destinations with the information and the ability of the World Tourism Organization?
Well, new destinations have a disadvantage in the sense that they're lacking connectivity, they're lacking share of voice, etc., etc. But also they have an advantage in the sense that they can avoid the mistakes that more developed destinations have done throughout the years and decades that have elapsed since the main growth of tourism in the 20th century. So effectively, we see, or we can see, if there is adequate stewardship by UN Tourism to the destinations, we can see better preservation of the cultural identity, better preservation of the biodiversity or of the environment, initiatives that are greener, cleaner, use less, create less waste, or use fewer material. So basically, we can see a much more well-rounded, concerted effort to implement all those principles from the ground up, from day one. And this is something that we should aim for. And effectively, whenever this happens in a country that doesn't have the big financial means, we need to find ways of supporting those initiatives financially as well. And that calls for more cooperation in the multilateral institutions, etc., etc. So in a nutshell, those emerging destinations need help from us in two ways. The first is to help them with the connectivity, to work with IATA, to work with ICAO, to work with knowledgeable institutions that can help them create the conditions for that connectivity to exist, and at the same time more marketing efforts from their side. And on the second area that we could help is how to ensure that the investments, and either investments for infrastructure or private investments, are there, but at the same time the country or the destination is able to accept those investments. It has the investment-friendly laws, has the tourism-friendly laws that will allow this investment to actually exist. And that's also another crucial role that UN Tourism can play.
It is very interesting to put the World Tourism Organization as an advisor to new destinations as you describe, and it will be very interesting. Before closing, I don't know if you would like to add anything else.
Well, the important thing is to note that this election for the position of the changing of guard of UN Tourism comes at a time which is very opportune, which is very challenging, and we need to, all of us, unite, work together as member states to reform this organization, make it more transparent, in order to be able to transform tourism for the better, making it an endeavor that is actually accepted by the local population, because we've seen the first signs of discord between tourism and the local population. That means better management of the flows, better management of the destinations. So we see that we have different or diverging issues regarding the more developed destinations and the more emergent destinations. This has to be recognized by UN Tourism, and the solutions that it provides have to be tailored depending on the needs of the destination and the member states.
Thank you very much, Minister Harry Theoharis. We wish you success in your new undertakings, and we hope to be able to have another talk with you and inform the international audience of Travel Daily News.
Thank you, and it will be my pleasure.